Alright folks, welcome to another beer review, and this is one that I thought I'd actually already reviewed. I didn't buy it with the intention of sort of doing a review. Made an order recently with Trembling Madness, and I wanted to get beers that I've really enjoyed as part of my order, and try and stray away from trying to find new beers all the time. So for example, you know, next time Daya brings out what's the beer called, the single hop series, and they did one in Citra a couple of years ago. It was like one of my beers of the year, saturated in Citra. So when that gets released next time, I'll probably buy a few cans at once. Do you know what I mean? Sort of like buy more of the beers that I really enjoy. And obviously now, with sort of fitting into the theme of today's review, obviously Felton's Pilsner is now available in Asda in 4-packs, and the weather it's finally becoming nice again, and I think that will probably be a beer that I'd buy quite a bit of for the summer. So it's just this sort of like sticking to what you know every now and then, obviously buying new beers, maybe be a bit more conscientious of, you know, what people think of these beers and that sort of thing. Not that I think you should always depend on what someone says about a product, but yeah. And this is one of those beers. It was on Trembling Madness, and I thought, I've not had this for ages. Every time I've had it, it's been absolutely bang on. It's from a brewery that are up there with one of the best lager brewers in the UK, and that of course is Northern Helles from the mighty Donzoko. Where are these based? In the Brewing tap room is in Stepney Bank in Newcastle, a place that I very much need to do a revisit, because I loved it when I was in Newcastle, going to Wylam, going to the new trade hall, so many other great places as well. But yeah, what a great beer city Newcastle is. And yeah, so very happy to give this another try. I was trying to change up the content a little bit by sort of like looking in, I've got 2 beer books, and just see if it's been mentioned, so I can sort of like add a little bit of, you know, value to the video. But it's not actually mentioned in this book from Mark Dredge. Although Big Foam is another fantastic beer from Donzoko. But I do love a good Helles, and I like it when breweries just brew a lager. Like, if you can brew a lager well, then you're up there in my estimation. Other UK breweries who do it very well, of course, New Barnes, Lost and was it Grounded, Braybrook, Utopia, the Cloudwater Helles, fantastic beer. That used to be my sort of like go-to craft option. Track make really good lagers. Most UK craft breweries make fantastic lagers. And then of course you can go to the hoppier side of things, go to that sort of like beer styles are just escaping my head right now. But yeah, I just like the idea of brewing just a well thought out and nicely crafted traditional style lager. So that's why I'm cracking open Northern Helles, canned in December 25, best before is October 26, 4.2% ABV. Let's get this open, although I don't know if I did that or it came like that, I'm not too bothered. Using my RIP, the Chapter brewing glass. A very unsung brewery. I'm very sad to see, obviously, brewing has ceased. This was a couple of years ago now. Not a very good pour though, although sometimes it's intended to have a big head. But beer in the glass then, let's tilt it aside so you can actually see it. It looks a bit more deeper and like ambery golden when I'm looking at the actual camera screen, but what I see here is quite a pale, cloudy, yellowy, almost like Pilsner-esque looking beer. That is amazing. If I could have a camera, although it would probably pick up exactly the same on a different camera. Yeah, the colours look a lot deeper and a bit darker on the iPhone screen. I poured this with 3 fingers worth of a nice white head. Really nice, compact but pillowy. Nice carbonation. It just looks it looks the part. Really, really does. Let's see what we get on the nose. A little bit bready, biscuity, slight grain-like flight aromas. There's a bit of a slightly pronounced citrus character coming through. It's got that muskiness, like damp, wet, a little bit grassy. It just smells good. The lagers, they're a really sort of like shit beer to describe because there's boxes to tick. Are very set, unless you're doing something a bit different with the style. But if you like a good lager, it's certainly smelling the beer part. But though, like I said, it's got a little bit more of a citrusy edge to it, which works really, really well. Instantly putting me in the mindset of having schnitzel and pommers with some lemon juice squeezed over the top, accompanied by a good Hellas beer. Smells fantastic, looks good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, everyone. Just absolutely top drawer. It really, really is. It's not really sort of like your paint by numbers traditional Hellas beer. I don't think the intention really is there. I'm not too sure what the intention is with this. It's got a bit more of a pronounced hoppiness than you would get with other Hellas lagers. The body's maybe a little bit lighter, a little bit more crisp. Not that most Hellas lagers are like heavy, full-bodied, although you can get really nice smooth mouthfeels, like Augustina Lager Beer Hell, the best beer in the world. That's not exactly like a thin, spritzy sort of lager. That's got a bit of heft to it, which I really like specifically about Hellas lagers. This sort of, for me, you say Hellas lager, but it's got like a hoppy Pilsner-esque sensibility about it. Just to lift it, make it a little bit brighter. Carbonation a little bit more sort of like, not aggressive. Aggressive isn't the right word, but you know what I mean. It's got a slight peppery spiciness towards that back end. Finishes a little bit bitter, a little bit dry, but just hitting all the right notes. Oh man, that's fantastic. and I think I mention this every time I do like a craft lager, is you taste the respect of the style. For the longest time, lagers, I think mainly due to the big macros and the constant changes in recipe, and you know, completely taking an existing like beer and then just destroying it, and then massively cutting the ABV, swapping proper ingredients with things like glucose syrup. Of course, the culture of the lager lout, but even before like the craft brewed lagers were starting to be a bit more respected, you know, a lot of the brewers who brewed like some of the most insane hoppy, you know, juice bombs, or the, you know, luminous blue sours, or the just like squeezy chocolate sauce imperial stouts, you do tend to find that a lot of them happily would just go home, crack open a bottle of lager beer hell, crack open a bottle of Tegernseer pills, crack open a, you know, 4-pack of Budvar Pilsner Urquell, just because I think as a brewer you'd probably like appreciate that, like the craft that goes into, you'll appreciate the craft that goes into any sort of beer that you drink. But yeah, this takes the Helles beer, you know it's a Helles beer, but it just does something different. It takes a contemporary take on it without completely changing the structure and the DNA and the feel of what the style should be. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's going down an absolute treat. And it's cemented to me as part of like the reasoning behind selecting this in the latest beer haul. It's one that I want more of, and I will buy more cans of. And I'd like to see it on tap as well on the travels. Lovely stuff indeed. But you already knew that. And yeah, Donzoko, Northern Helles, it's a modern classic. And yeah, just from my experience, consistently great. From a great little brewery. So yeah, very shocked that I've not actually done a review of this before. I drank it quite a few times now. Always enjoyed it, as I've already said. Donzoko, got a lot of time for them, especially the dark lagers that I've had from them. Again, just they always respect the style, even if they're doing something that's turning the style on its head or adding a little bit of a twist to it. But yeah, absolutely bang on, and I want more and more and more and more. I think at some stage, if I actually start creating content again on a semi-regular basis, I would like to like pit like my five or 10 favourite lagers together, or do like a bit of a knockout sort of tournament. World Cup's coming up. I'm not going to do any World Cup beer related content, don't you worry. But yeah, I'd actually really like to pit, because I don't really tend to do that. It'll just be like a multiple of that beer that I'll drink, as opposed to going from one lager to another lager to another lager to another lager to another lager. So I'd like to actually do that at some point. So you may see something like that. If I can get myself a semi-decent like laptop or a new MacBook, so I can stream again and then have a proper setup, then that'd be a good idea for a stream. But anyway, it is what it is. I'm not going to throw out any empty promises there, because you know by now I'm fucking shit at keeping to them. But yeah, lovely stuff. 10 out of 10. It is just there's nothing I would change about it. It just does, for me, does the job, and it's as near to perfection as you can get from a style that I just absolutely adore. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. What your favourite Donzoko beers, what your favourite lagers, what your favourite craft lagers. You just hit me up, let me know. And yeah, it's the season, isn't it? Really, sat outside, barbecue. If you want to be a psychopath and do your garden in the heat, you shouldn't really be cutting your grass when it's hot though. Yeah, it's just pints with the lads, in it. Do you know what I mean? I feel so fucking weird saying words like mate and lads. So I'll stop it there. Anyway, cheers for watching. Bye.